Hey guys, I'm sat here on the side of the road and have been for several hours, and I am 9 hours away from home, and I've been troubleshooting this little Nissan Pulsar that we bought for my daughter. So she paid for it. She paid for this little Nissan Pulsar, and I don't know what you guys know about the car market in Perth at the moment, or Western Australia, but cars are stupid expensive. And she saved up $1,400, which once upon a time would have bought you an absolutely ripper first car. But in this day and age, to get a licensed running car under about $3,000 is almost impossible. So, we bought this little Nissan Pulsar for $1,400. We knew it wasn't running when we looked at it. The Facebook ad said that it wasn't running. They thought it was a fuel pump issue. It wasn't turning over is what it said. So anyway, after a bit of back and forth with the previous owner, we came up from where we live, and that's an 8-hour drive. We stayed with friends, and then we've come an extra hour to pick up this car. That was at 10 o'clock this morning. I think it's about 3:30 now, 3:45. So, been doing this for a while. Got the car running. It took about, what did it take? It took about probably an hour. That's right, my daughter said it was exactly an hour to get the car running. And so we went through, we put a new fuel filter in it. Wasn't that. Checked the fuel pump, it was going good. It would fire, but it wouldn't start. So once we'd gone through, we pulled the fuel tank and had a look at that. Not the fuel tank, the fuel pump. Checked all the fuel. All the fuel was good, so I figured it was an ignition system problem. So then I pulled the dizzy cap and cleaned that up, and it started straight away, fired straight up. There was that much scale and garbage on it that I figured it wasn't getting a decent spark from the rotor arm through to the terminals on the cap, which obviously leads up the leads and into the plugs. So cleaned them, fired straight up, said thank you very much, here's your money, see you later. Drove. I don't even reckon we got 500 meters. I really don't. See the green sign there? Just down that road and round the corner, and that's where we picked it up from. We got to here, so I pulled the cap off again, cleaned it again, started straight up. And I thought, this is weird. And we thought we were good to go, and then we got about, 5 meters, and it died again. Went into town, Repco. Well, tried Super Cheap. That didn't work out. Went to Repco. That wasn't great, but they at least had the parts we needed. And then, what happened from there? We came back, put the plugs in. It started straight up, and then died again. About 2-3 minutes later. Distributor cap off. My son drove up 20 minutes, got another cap, came back, put the cap on, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Rang my boss, spoke to him and his son, and they both seemed to think that it was the coil in the distributor. So now my son and daughter have taken half an hour drive each way from where we are to go up to Fremantle or near Fremantle to get new coil, which is internal on these distributors. So I opted to stay back and pull the distributor apart, and I thought, why not make a video while I'm sat here? So I'll update you with how it goes, because this car has to drive nearly an hour tonight, and then in a couple of days we've got to go 800 k's in it. untested, unknown. But I enjoy the challenge of this sort of stuff. And like I say, it's a $1,400 car. They had it advertised for $1,650. They dropped it down from $2,000. He and his wife were generous enough to drop it another $250 for us upon asking, and yeah, here we are. But we would have poured that $250 into it, so praise God we saved that money, because my daughter's going to be paying her brother back because he's been putting his hand in his pocket to get all the bits and pieces today. So yeah, that's our saga. I'll let you know how it goes. But you know, that's all the distributor and the plugs that we replaced and everything. Yeah, for $1,400, I'm not complaining. And even if it takes, you know, all the afternoon and all evening to get it going, as long as it gets her back and it can get her to and from work and to and from school, I'm okay with that. Because what a rig. And the hood liner's not fallen, which is great, but also sad, because I would like to have been able to teach you guys how to glue a hood liner. But we'll get there. Alright, be blessed. I'll speak to you when we get it going, or when I know more. Rightio, day 2, we're back. Yesterday didn't work out at all because the coil that my son and daughter drove all the way up to Fremantle to get was the wrong one. Apparently being inside the distributor doesn't make it an internal coil. I don't know. Anyway, so we had to leave it here overnight because the Commodore I'm in doesn't have any ability to tow. That thing doesn't have anywhere to anchor onto. We just left it here overnight, trusted God, come back the next day, and here we are. So I'm about to go and put a coil inside the distributor, even though they claim it's external, and see if that gets it going. I'll let you know. Alrighty, I forgot to film yesterday. Put the coil in on the side of the road. It fired straight up. We've been driving it. We drove yesterday for about an hour, and we're driving today. It doesn't like going up hills, but it's running. We're heading back home. I'm sitting on 100. It's doing okay. Put some injector cleaner in it. This thing hasn't had a lot of love in a very long time, but there you go, guys. That finishes this video. We've done a roadside fix, pulled the distributor apart, put a new coil in it, new cap, new plugs, new fuel filter, and hopefully it gets us home alright. I'll let you know if it doesn't. See ya.